Hello there everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be telling you the basics of how to both play and build Horus, the newest warrior to come to Smite. Now before we dive into the how to play part, since I know a lot of you come here just for a quick build and then you're going to go off into a match, we're going to start with the build. So on screen now are the 3 core items. What a core item means is you should build it in every single game because it's that important. Horus works really well with a lot of cooldown reduction and then a little bit of power. But he's a utility warrior, so his priority is pretty much just setting up, locking down, and, protecting the backline or diving their carries. So as such, you're going to build Warrior Tabi, Breastplate of Valor, and Genji's Guard. That is the core of the build. Now, moving into the back half of the build, if you find that you're ahead of the game and you're going to be playing really aggressive, then I recommend going for the last 3 spots, Void Shield, Spirit's Robe, and then Masamune. This is going to give you a lot more power than the defensive option we're going to talk about, which is going to allow you to fight better and knock the carries off the map rather than peeling for your own team or setting up for them. This is certainly a more aggressive and thus selfish build. Now, if you're building to help out more and you're going to be going for a more defensive strategy, so let's say you're behind, I recommend the last 3 items should then become Hide of the Nemean Lion, again with the Spirit's Robe, and then the last item's kind of just a flex for whatever you may need. If you're looking for more magical protection, Pestilence is a really good option. Otherwise, something like a Midgardian Mail or something just to help shut down the big problem on the other team. Now with the build out of the way, let's go and talk about the rest of Horus. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Horus is a utility warrior, and as such, he has a lot of crowd control. His 1 has both a knock-up and a ranged slow. His 2 has a stun that turns into a protection shred. His 3rd ability is just a dash that when you land, heals all allies and gives them protections. And then his 4th ultimate ability is a translocate for everyone in the circle. It's super fun. But remember, it's all about how you're going to play this character that kind of defines it. So let's just talk about a few things. So coming from a solo lane perspective, I just want to touch upon a few things that are going to help us in the early game. First and foremost, how do we level these abilities? Now, primarily if you're looking to box and fight, so if you're fighting a Guardian or a Warrior, I recommend maxing out your 2nd ability first. It does more damage and it causes a bit more of a shit disturber sense. Now, if you're fighting someone that's going to be far away, personally, I think the 1st ability is better for lane clear, so it's better to max that out so that you can clear the wave and then look to pressure. So in general, 2nd ability if you're fighting someone who's in melee, and then 1st ability if you're fighting someone at range. Now, no matter what, I do recommend upgrading the 3rd ability, so the heal, 2nd. The reason for this is solo lane is all about sustain right now, and his 3rd ability gives a lot of it. It also provides protection, so if you do start to rotate, it's a really nice thing to have. So in general, you're upgrading the 2 or the 1, then you're always upgrading the 3rd ability to max 2nd, and then you're upgrading the other one. And the only thing that gets a little bit weird is when you want to level up the ultimate. Now, and I mean putting the 1st tick in the ultimate. This ultimate is not an escape tool. You can still be damaged when you're in the air. It doesn't get you out very fast. It's really not great. It's really good at initiating. But as a solo laner, the first 10 levels, you're pretty much just farming. So around level 10, 11, or 12 would be when I would put the 1st tick into the ultimate. But besides that, everything's just kind of go from there. So the final 2 things I want to talk about are matchups and playstyle. And we're going to start with playstyle. Horus's playstyle is just CC something to death. And then use his 3 to bail, right? So you can get in, get up close, you can stun, then knock them up, then slow them, then nope the hell out. Because without your abilities up, you're not doing that much damage, right? So that's kind of your definition and that's your play style. You're going to get in, then get out really fast. Now, that being said, I have seen and heard that Horus support is actually pretty good. I don't have a lot of play testing to go off this, but I can agree that in theory, it should work wonderfully. Just remember, if you're being a support player, you gotta back the hell off, and instead of aggressing onto their carries, your priority is now protecting yours. So you're gonna wait for the jungler, you're gonna wait for their solo laner to dive your carries, and then you're going to stun them, knock them up, slow them, heal your team. That suddenly becomes your priority instead of diving the carries and then getting the fuck back. Now let's talk matchups. Personally, I think Horus has a very good matchup against pretty much every single top tier solo laner right now. He really does a fascinating job against Jormungandr because his 1st ability is a knockup. Jorm is the only melee character that you should be upgrading your first ability to max first on, because every single time that you're knocking up, he gets that passive that makes him take more damage, and then you just body him for a couple seconds and he feels like he needs to back off. It's fantastic. Other than that, he doesn't really have a lot of bad matchups. The only junglers you should look out for are Hunbats and a Wheelix, because I do believe you can be pulled right out of your dash. So look out for that. But yeah, just as a quick summary, remember to use your abilities effectively. If you can stun someone, do it. If you've got the knock-up, go for it. But remember, you can also be really mobile and kind of tricky with both your second and third ability both being dashes. Just don't get pulled. Anyway, that's all the time that I have for this one. I'll see you guys soon for the set video. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Have yourselves a casual day.